Hello Sagittarius, my name is Keith Haswell and I'm a professional astrologer with 40 years experience in the business, over 30,000 clients worldwide. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this particular analysis of your horoscope to do with personal relationships during November 2014. Now I've written 2 books on astrology, meditation and reincarnation. I've got over 140 videos on all aspects of personal growth and spiritual growth, YouTube videos. And it's very nice to have the opportunity to be of service to you. What I'm prepared to do for you, Sagittarius, is to do your personal horoscope chart for you free of charge and to send that to you by email, but also to do a personal analysis of your horoscope, not just a generality, but your personal horoscope, to look at your social planets and your planets that are to do with relationships, and to look at the location of those planets by sign and aspect and also house placement, and that tells you where you stand as far as your development in past lives in your relationships. What qualities, principles and values that you've developed within yourself, and what tests that you've set for yourself in this incarnation, Sagittarius, to do with improving relationships and so forth. So that's a personal thing, which is a printed thing that's sent to you by email together with your horoscope chart, and I do all of that for you free of charge. Later on in this particular reading that I'm doing for you now, you'll see my website will pop up on the screen, and you can then pause it and write the website address down. You can take it down now if you want to. It's www.mysteryofsirius.com, and go to the Your Horoscope page on my website. There's lots of goodies there that I'll be sending you, and they're all free of charge, so have some fun there. Now I want to look at your movements of your social planets during the month of November and tell you what sort of impact. These are transits, they're not powerful influences, they last only for a day either side of the date that I give you, but I'll lay it all out on a timeline for you, Sagittarius, that tells you what sort of impacts that you're likely to experience. And also I'll look at your full moon and new moon cycles as well for you. Now, on the 2nd of November, you've got a Neptune influence which is negative, and it can see bad judgment in relationships, worries about children if they're in your life. People can deceive you and let you down on the social side of life and to do with personal relationships. Now, also bear in mind, Sagittarius, that with personal relationships, it's not just a matter of love relationships and romantic relationships. We all have relationships with a variety of people, relatives, neighbours, family, those who cohabitate with us in the home, parents, children, romantic lovers, workmates, partners and spouse, and also those who cohabitate with us in business and are involved in business and career with us, and also friends. So there's a whole variety of personal relationships, and that's what makes life spicy. And that's what I'm reporting on here for you, and that's what I report on that printed thing that's sent to you as well. It's looking at all personal relationships in your life, not just love, romantic relationships. Now, the second one that we come to is on the 4th of November, Sagittarius, and that's a Pluto influence which fortifies and strengthens willpower and determination to make changes within yourself, and we'll probably see some involvement socially with either people who are born overseas or with in-laws. Now, on the 7th of November, you've got a full moon. Now, a full moon is a time when you've got to consolidate things that you started in the previous 2 weeks. So projects that you started in the previous 2 weeks, you've then got to, over the next 2 weeks, consolidate them and reflect upon how you've gone with them. It's not a good time for commencing and starting new major projects. And then on the 10th of November, You've got the Jupiter influence, which is very, very positive and powerful. It's a favourable cycle for you, especially to do with social activities involving workmates. It's favourable for you also through friends. Group activities are favoured, and involvements with other people's children, through your kids perhaps. On the 11th of November, you've got a Pluto influence, which does tend to make you a little bit tense, and there's a lot of stress and tension within yourself to do with children, romance, social activities, and can be a few secret worries, and you can be your own worst enemy with that sort of influence around, Sagittarius. Now on the 13th of November, you've got a Saturn influence, which is going to depress social involvements. You'll probably find that social engagements that you had planned will be obstructed or put off, and there can be some frustrations, particularly with social activities connected with the job and with friends. Now on the 14th of November, Sagittarius, you've got a Jupiterian influence, which is very, very favourable for you. It's good for dealings with foreign people, adult education, and dealings with church members or anything like that, or philosophy members, and it's favourable for you generally to do with the social side of your life. On the 18th of November, you've got a Saturn influence, which can see a little bit of ill health for you, and there can be some frustrations to do with those who are from overseas. There's not a good time for travel. On the 22nd of November, you've got a new moon. Now that's a very exciting time for you, Sagittarius, a new moon that falls in your first house. So it's very good for commencing and starting new projects over the next 2 weeks. It's a 2-week period that gives you a great opportunity for commencing and starting new projects of a personal interest, of a personal initiative. Now then on the 27th of November, you've got a Uranus influence, and a Uranus influence always brings the unexpected, Sagittarius. In other words, someone can just pop into your life out of the blue that you haven't seen for a long time, and they just appear. Or else you run into someone in a 1,000,000 to 1 chance that I met you at this particular moment, you know, and they come into your life, and it can see relationships forming under very unusual circumstances with the Uranian sort of an influence. It particularly impacts favourably socially upon the workmates and also with friends. And the last one we come to, Sagittarius, is on the 27th of November, which sees Neptune negatively impacting the Sun. Now that can see underhandedness, worries about things, and you can be your own worst enemy in terms of drugs and alcohol, things like that. So just be careful of your judgment during that time, and it's particularly unfavourable for travel. And that's as far as I go for you on this particular video anyway, Sagittarius. It's nice to have this opportunity to be able to be of service to you and to help you. And by going to my website and submitting your birth details, I'll send you a whole bundle of goodies, but particularly that 5-page printout that's all to do with your horoscope personally, and the planetary locations in those houses and signs and the aspects that they form with each other, and how that impacts upon your personal relationships, and how well you've done in past lives, and also what you've got planned in terms of tests for this lifetime. So I look forward to doing that for you should you decide to take me up on it. Thank you.